Halloween
forever.
All right. Despite the fact that Steve is not here to answer me, I got one for him because he will be editing this later. So, Steve, if Muppets everywhere just started, coming to life, walking and talking around by themselves, that'd be weird, right? I can imagine that'd be quite weird. I would go as far as to say it's a phenomena. Phenomena. Guys, welcome, boils and ghouls, to a very special minisode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian, and I'm here for the moment solo because those of you who've been listening to the podcast for a long time know around the holidays we do really take what is the closest to an actual break that we take, where Steve and I will do a couple solo episodes around the holiday season. I usually will have, what I'm going to do today, which is a little mini-sode where I have my kids on to talk about some wholesome holiday spookery. We do something normally that's a little bit scary, a little bit spooky in some capacity. I think last time maybe we did Nightmare Before Christmas. This time we are going to talk about perhaps the greatest Christmas movie ever made, a little flicky from the year of our Lord, 1992. Of course, I'm talking about The Muppet Christmas Carol, directed by Brian Henson, son of the great Jim Henson. One of my absolute favorites. I know, perennial favorite for a lot of our listeners and just humans in general. So we're going to talk about that. But of course, we got to do a couple of things at the top of the show before we get into a little interview. Hope everyone's having a lovely holiday season. Hope you're participating in a lot of Muppet related revelry. The one thing I got to talk about now, I am not currently sipping on a wet one, but in this festive time of year, if you were to spill a wet one, it might fall onto the sidewalk and ice over, and then you might be able to slip on a wet one, guys. But I'm doing neither this very second because I'm doing a quick little intro before I talk to my kids. They're very excited. They took notes. They watched the movie for the 900th time. But we have a couple of things to remind yins of. First of all, if you recall last week when we had when we watched perhaps the complete opposite, polar opposite of the Muppet Christmas Carol, we watched Final Flesh, which is another tremendous holiday classic, which I suggest you all watch during this festive time of the year. We spun the old spinny ass wheel for, believe it or not, our January showdown. It's coming up very, very soon. I'll remind you the potential topics were Angela Bettis films, which I was campaigning for heartily. We also had modern slashers, which is one that's come back around again, which we did in the very early days of the show. And then neo monster flicks. And I thought modern slashers would take it, but actually neo monster flicks is what we're going to be doing in January, which I'm really, really excited about. What is a neo monster? We're talking about not your classic monsters. We're not talking about your Frankensteins and your Draculas and your Wolfmans and all that sort of stuff. We're talking about, kind of more new age monsters. I think last time we talked about, I think somebody brought up the Babadook. Right. If somebody was to bring up something like the It Follows, monster, whatever the hell that is, I think those are all Slither might be a good example of it. A Splinter, speaking of words that start with S, I think those are all could categorize as neo monster flicks, non-traditional monster archetypes. So if you've got suggestions, of course, slide on into those little sticky DMs over there on the social medias at Halloween is Forever on all the various things. Send us some suggestions if maybe you've got one that we might not have on our radar. that we should check out before that January showdown. Also, really any suggestions you have, I must remind you to go over and send them our way, because we are always coming up with fun ideas from listeners for the minisodes. Also, because I haven't said it in a while and I got some, time here on this solo intro, go over to your Spotify, your Apple Podcasts, your Stitcher, if that's still a thing, your whatever, your podcatcher app of choice, wherever you listen to your podcasts, and write us a little review. Give us the maximum amount of stars and write a review. It could be 2 words, but it helps a lot. And if you feel so inclined, you can screen grab that, send it to us in the DMs, and I'll send you a little package of little stickers and little spooky goodies in the mail, little doodads and beat bops and things like that. I always like doing that. It's been a little bit since someone held me to that, so please do it. Also, one last pitch before we get into the interview. We are going to start off in January, believe it or not, with our 4th iteration of our Patreon exclusive podcast series. You might be asking yourself, what the hell's Patreon? First of all, patreon.com/Halloween's Forever. You go on over there. That's a place where you can sign up to a little subscription. You give us $5 dues a month. It's very simple. We have sticky sweet content on the internet every Monday, but if you want a bonus episode every month, that's the big carrot to be dangled over there. But you also, I think the most fun thing, you can join us in the Discord. And on a normal week, you can join us as we record live and interact with us and chat with us as we record. And we always have a lot of fun doing that. You also get some funny and fun, reviews and write-ups and bonus things. You get an extra vote for the for the showdown topics. A lot of fun stuff over there. But whenever we started this out, Steve made me watch all the Fast and the Furious movies. There's about 10 of them sons of bitches. So that started our 10-month rotation. I then made him watch a bunch of right-wing Christian propaganda horror movies that all suck shit for 10 months. Then the next 10 months, Steve made me watch some of the most god-awful 90s comedy movies ever. With some sort of horror tie, typically. Now your boy is bringing it back around in January. It's my turn again. It's my turn to go after Steve and do some psychological damage. But I've decided to take the high road here, and I'm going to make some efforts to push forth our agenda as a podcast, which is, of course, to rid the universe of God. That is my task, and my New Year's resolution every year. So starting off in January, figured there's no other thing because I'm trying to fight him. I'm trying to see if I stack up, if I can rid the world of his bullshit. So God is not forever. That is our new Patreon exclusive podcast series. And we are going to deep dive into a bunch of movies that teach us a little bit about how my final showdown with God is going to go. Right. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We finished off Steve's series with the Adventures of Ford Fairlane, starring the Dice Man himself, Andrew Dice Clay, which, spoiler alert, not as bad of a movie as I thought it was going to be, especially coming off of, Chairman of the Board with Carrot Top a few episodes ago, which made me strongly consider the concept of drinking bleach and laying in traffic. This was nowhere near that bad, but it was a lot of fun to talk about. So go over to patreon.com/Halloween's Forever. Not only do you get that extra episode every single month, but you get that whole entire backlog of about a bajillion hours of me and Steve playing audio grab ass over here and talking about dumb shit movies. I think that's all the things we got to do at the top of the show. So without any further ado, I'm going to send it over to myself to introduce my daughters, and we are going to talk to you a little bit about a festive family favorite, The Muppet Christmas Carol. All right, here we are with, well, they're already giving me the cringe face because I'm doing my podcast voice. Yeah, we've been doing this now for how many years? 3 or 4 years now? And every time they look forward to it, but the longer the years go on, the more they cringe at every word I say.
You talk weird. If you just talk if you would just like talk normal during the podcast, then I wouldn't cringe as much.
They say that I have a podcast voice, just like they say I have a work voice when I'm on a work phone call.
It goes really low. It goes, "Hello, boys and girls, boys and girls."
What do I sound like normally? If this is my podcast voice, I try to enunciate and talk a little more clearly. What does my normal voice sound like?
Hola.
Wait, you say I speak Spanish? Not just regularly I speak Spanish, and then when I come on the podcast, the only time I speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that would be that's going to come as a surprise to everybody. Yeah, I have a podcast voice. They tell me so.
It's true.
All right, well, you're gonna have to deal with my cringy podcast voice. But we just
say a lot. You say a lot when you have your podcast voice.
That's my filler word. That's when I don't know what to say. I say Do you know what your filler word is?
Which cough.
Like.
That's actually.
Okay, everyone has one of those. On your list of your favorite, is it near the top of your favorite Christmas movies? Is it not really that close to the top?
I don't know. Probably close to the top.
Yeah.
I think it's probably up there, but my favorite one is probably Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
I like the 2018 Grinch movie.
Yeah, you like that one a lot. That was the first movie you ever saw in the theaters when you were a cheeky baby.
Actually, stop.
All right. So, let's talk about Muppet Christmas Carol. You know, Daddy, big Muppet fan, and you guys are. I'm starting to get you interested in the Muppets, but you're not quite as Muppet centric as I am. What other Muppet shows have we watched? Muppet movies and Muppet shows?
Well, baby Muppets.
Yeah, Muppet, aka Muppet Babies. Also, Little Baby Muppets.
Little Baby Muppets. Yeah, we watched that when we were really little. I remember that one. And then when we went to Pappy's house, we watched the original Muppet Show. Yeah,
the Muppet Show. That's a good one.
The Halloween Muppet.
Yeah, we watched that one from a few years ago. It was probably like 2020. That one's okay. Well, it's like Muppet Haunted Mansion or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my first question before we get in the movie. Who is your favorite Muppet? Oh, deep in thought.
That's like crazy.
The red guy who's crazy. You mean Animal?
Is that his name?
Yeah, he's the one who plays the drums and freaks out and everything.
Yeah. He's in there too because he's in like the bear guys. Chris, like when they go back in time, the bear guys like Christmas party. He plays the drums.
Yep.
The bear is my favorite.
Fozzie Bear.
Yeah.
I think Fozzie Bear might be my favorite too. He plays Fozziewig in this one. Because it's Fezziwig, old Fezziwig, which is Scrooge's boss when he was a kid. But I love me some Fozzie Bear as well. Okay. So this is directed by...
How do you know that? Brian.
What?
Directed by Brian.
Yes. Brian what? What do you know his last name?
Starts with an H. I don't know.
Brian Henson. And do you know who Jim Henson is?
No, I do not. Is that the guy in Nightmare Before Christmas? Which one is that guy?
No, Jim Henson created the Muppets. He's since passed away, but Brian is his son.
Oh.
Yeah. So he directed it. Brian directed this. I think it might have been his first. So let's jump into, directed by Brian Henson, but let's jump into the movie. There's really only one, main human character in this, which is, of course, Scrooge. You know what Scrooge's first name is?
Ebenezer.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Yep.
Veggies are alive in the movie.
There is veggies alive in the movie. And we start out with the first song is There Goes, I forget what the song's called. It's like,
there goes Mr. Big Back.
Yeah, there goes Mr. Big Back.
There goes Mr. Humbug. There
It says
goes Mr.
humbug too much.
Something.
Yeah.
Humbug.
This is one of my favorite songs, and it's we got Ebenezer Scrooge played by Michael Caine, who's a very famous British actor who does an awesome job with Ebenezer Scrooge in here. We love this first song, and you want to know what my favorite part of this whole song is, and the street scene is just how much is going on. There's just so many puppets on screen. Like every time I watch it, I feel like I see something for the first time. What do you guys think? Yeah, you like the vegetables that talk.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of this scene?
Okay, but I have something to know about like the scenes. Like I feel like the what's that sticker? Jeez. Anyway.
You're getting distracted.
The penguins, the penguin ice skating. I was talking to them while we were watching it about how I don't remember that scene. I think that we might have watched the one with the edited out scenes.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that earlier. That is a little later on when they're doing the One More Sleep Till Christmas song. And it's Kermit. And what's Kermit's? I mean, he plays Tiny Tim, but I forget what the name of the Robin. Robin is the name of the Muppet that plays Tiny Tim when he's not Tiny Tim. Like Kermit plays Bob Cratchit, and Tiny Tim Cratchit's played by Robin, who is his nephew in like the Muppet Show and all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, they go and greet the penguins and talk to the penguins and skate around and stuff. And you're saying that might not be in a like another version.
Yeah, I think like the final version that they like originally like released was the one with the edited out. This one is the edited out scenes, and then there was like the one that I've watched every time. But I think we might have watched the one with the edited out scenes because I don't remember that scene.
You might be right. I have to double check that. I'm not sure.
I remember that scene last time we watched that movie.
Well, we were watching the version on Disney Plus just now, and I wonder if our DVD version we have might not have that scene in it, which might be true. We'll have to go back and fact check that. All right. Where do we go after that? We go to Scrooge and Marley's counting house, and we have Bob Cratchit as Kermit. And all of the bookkeepers are not Rizzo, but all of Rizzo's like rat friends are all the bookkeepers. Yeah, rat friends. You have rat friends, right?
Yeah, Lizzie. My friend Lizzie. She's a rat.
Yeah. And are you the rat queen still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, are you guys both rat queens?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
long story.
Okay, it's a long story. We'll get into that in another episode. This might be one of my favorite ones because I love the they're trying to get Kermit to tell him to they want another scoop of coal, shovel of coal for the fire, and he says, he yells at them, and they all pop into like a hula outfits and talk about how it's a tropical heat wave.
Yeah.
I love the rats in that episode or in that sequence.
Rats.
What's that?
I love the rats in that episode. I mean, sequin or whatever.
Are you just copying me?
You just copying me.
All right. What do you want to talk about next? What is another part of the movie that you find memorable?
The music, maybe.
Yeah. What's your favorite song in the movie?
Where Marley and Marley.
That's your favorite one? When you were little, you used to be scared of that one.
Yeah, I know.
I would almost say that I like that okay, but it might be my least favorite song. How dare me?
Or the last song in the movie.
Yeah, the last one when everyone's all happy and stuff.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one is the one with the Ghost of Christmas Present. When he's... No, Future's the creepy little baby floating baby.
No.
That's past. I'm sorry, that's past.
Floating baby girl is the past.
Right.
The future is the scary one.
Yeah, the future is the one with the hood and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be really scared of that
Because
ghost.
it had like bright light, and it said, "What's that bright light?" And she was like, "It's the past."
hmm Do you know how they shot that? You know how it has that weird like floating thing?
You told us this. It was underwater.
Yeah, they floated. They shot underwater, which is pretty interesting. Which is
Scrooge underwater?
no, just no. I think that would be noticeable if he was wet. No, but that's how they gave him the like ghostly kind of floating thing, because it is a puppet, but they shot it, separately underwater and then kind of imposed it in the shot. Anyway, which is your favorite of the three? Well, 4 ghosts, I guess 5 ghosts, because in this instance, Jacob Marley is Marley and Marley. There's 2 Marleys.
Okay, I don't know if you guys know, but there's a thing that classes do in school that are called Kahoot, and they're like quizzes. Anyways, and they're like fun. There's like a podium, you can get places, and I got one. We did this on the last day of school before break on last Friday, and it said how many ghosts appear in the Muppet Christmas Carol. It was the Muppet Christmas Carol, and I answered 5, and it said 4, and it's wrong.
Garbage. Who's responsible for this? For that question?
It wasn't a make your own. Like it wasn't the teacher didn't make that one.
Oh, I was gonna say I would have revolted and flipped my desk.
It was it was the app, the Kahoot app.
Garbage. Let's write, everyone out there, write strongly worded letters to Kahoot. Tell them they're garbage. I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's
Sued for this.
No. So Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, Ghost of Christmas Future, and then of course both of the Marleys. All right. Which is your favorite? They're just shaking their head at me and coming like, which of the ghosts is your favorite?
The present one. The other ones are creepy. The baby's creepy and the hood one's creepy.
When I was a kid, the Muppets I was always scared of were the big giant ones that were people in full costumes, just kind of like the Ghost of Christmas Present.
I have something to say about that. This is kind of completely off topic, but we had a topic on dreams. You probably know where I'm going with this one. My dad told me that he had this reoccurring dream where he was in his childhood room and there was a slide going down the window, and there were a bunch of people out there, and there was one big kind of Muppet looking monster, but it was like giant, and everybody was like, come play with it or whatever, come down the slide. And isn't that what you said? Yeah,
I remember one time we were talking about you had a bad dream that you were having over and over, and I told you about mine when I was a kid, and it was the Muppet was Sweetums. He's like the big hairy one with the big nose.
Yeah, I know, the kind of woolly mammoth looking type guy.
Well, not yeah, I mean a little bit. He almost looks like a Yeti a little bit or something like that. But anyway, yeah, that was I was scared of him when I was a kid.
I also, when I watched the movie, I was wondering why Scrooge is so much taller than everything else in the movie.
That's a great question. Why is Bob Cratchit only up to Scrooge's shin? Well, I think it's because he's a frog.
Yeah, but still.
Yes, this is called. Do you know the term suspension of disbelief? Suspension of disbelief means you kind of know it doesn't make sense, but it's a movie, so you just go all right, I'll go with it.
Is that saying only for movies?
No, stories, but yeah, a lot of times people talk about it in terms of movies.
The ratios on how big things are, and the frog is bigger than the rat. Meanwhile, they would probably be around the same size, and also the frog is standing on 2 back feet, 2 feet.
And talking.
I mean, a lot. That's a thing that happens in a lot of movies. But movies where animals talk, they're usually Okay, I don't.
You're just putting blankets on each other's head. Okay. What other parts do you want to talk about? We talked about when they're in the how about when the little bunny rabbit comes to the door singing a song?
Oh yeah, and then he eats him.
Okay, that one makes me sad because my mom and dad think that's so funny. Like it's animal abuse, and they're throwing the things at the thing.
Throwing the things at the thing. Yeah, it's just funny because it's so mean because it's this cute little bunny rabbit that's 1 inch tall, and he just fires a wreath at him. It's so over the top.
I know, it's not funny. It's really sad.
Also, the part where what's his name says to Rizzo, "You're such an idiot."
Oh, you're talking about whenever they have to go over the gate, and then he just realizes that he can go right between the gates. He has to go back and get his jelly beans, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "You're such an idiot."
It was like, yeah, they were like trying to get into Scrooge's house, and they had to like climb over, and Rizzo was having this really hard time climbing over, and then he was like, "Oh, I found my jelly beans." Walked through the bars. And he's just like, "You idiot."
Yeah, that's a good one. I remember cracking up at that one when I was a kid.
The movie also reminds me of The Grinch because Scrooge doesn't like Christmas, and the Grinch doesn't like Christmas either.
That's a good point. Scrooge is very Grinchy, or maybe is the Grinch very Scroogey? Do you know which one came first?
I think the Christmas Carol, maybe.
Yes, because A Christmas Carol is a book written by Charles Dickens in, I don't know, the 1800s.
It's the same concept of the movie Christmas Carol, but that one's just boring. The Muppet Christmas Carol is less boring. It's more funny.
Yeah. You guys aren't a huge fan of the other versions of the Christmas Carol as much as this one.
Yeah, the cartoon one that kind of looks real, that one just kind of weird.
What about Mickey's Christmas Carol? You like Mickey's Christmas Carol?
Yeah, but the one that's like animated, and then the dude has the baby girl ghost in the Muppet Christmas Carol. In the actual Christmas Carol, it's a boy, and it has fire all over his head, and it's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of bizarre ones. Have you guys ever watched the Flintstones version?
I was just about to say I've never watched, I don't remember the Mickey one. I don't remember any other version.
Oh, the Mickey one we've definitely watched. Flintstones one I have on DVD. We'll have to watch that. There's Mr. Magoo. You guys probably don't even know who Mr. Magoo is. Mr. Magoo is, it's terrible, but Mr. Magoo is essentially a guy who just can't see well. That's his whole character.
Oh.
Bumps into things, gets confused because he can't see.
It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah, it's a very old cartoon. It's not great.
Sound very good.
No, it's not great. There's also I think there's a Sonic the Hedgehog version of A Christmas Carol too.
Oh, no.
You guys used to love Sonic. No, you're not owning up to that?
What? We never used to love Sonic.
You guys used to watch the Sonic cartoon show all the time.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were pretty little. Okay. So once we get into like the ghosts coming, like after the Marleys come, and then the ghost of Christmas past comes, and all that, like what is a part you want to talk about there?
Sit down, Maggie.
Yeah, don't stand on the stool. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
What do you want? What other parts? They can't see you when you make silly faces.
I know. You told us that before we started.
Okay.
Anyways, wait, what'd you ask?
Oh, parts you want to talk about after. We're moving along in the movie here.
Okay, so the part, he's like a changed man, and he goes around saying Merry Christmas, and I don't understand the part where he's tells the little rat he threw a wreath at.
It's a bunny. How dare you?
Same thing. Anyways, he tells him, "Hey, here's money. Go buy me something." And then he's really happy that he got to buy something with Scrooge's money for Scrooge.
Well, typically he tells him to keep the change. Like he gives them, I don't know, a penny farthing or something. I don't know what old English money is, but he gives them it's like giving somebody $100 and going, go buy me a candy bar, keep the change.
Oh, so it's like they get like whole like $95.
Well, candy bars aren't $5, but yes, I appreciate what you're saying. Yes, it's kind of like that. It's
Wait, what are candy bars? How much are candy bars?
$95?
no. Yes, you have the right. You definitely have the right idea. And I might be exaggerating a little bit, but he basically says like, if you go do this for me, you can keep the change. So that's why he's so excited.
I don't understand how when Scrooge touches the ghost of the past's hand, their hands are like, her hand is as big as his finger. Yeah. Scrooge is just really big, okay?
Yeah, you don't like, well, yeah. I mean, Michael Caine is like, I think quite tall, like well over 6 foot tall. And then these are little tiny Muppets. You think he's about 6?
6, 7.
7. Yeah, like when she kind of looks like about, I would estimate if I saw that, obviously she's a Muppet, but like she looks like she'd be like 6 or 7. Yeah. Like in age.
Oh, yeah.
And her hand looks like a baby's hand, like a little newborn infant.
She is like a little creepy dead baby is what it looks like, floating around, ghost baby. You know, we did a movie recently called Baby Ghost.
You did what?
We talked about a movie recently called Baby Ghost.
I know what you said. What?
It was horrible. It was a terrible movie.
What was it about?
It was about a little, I don't know, not even human. It was like a Muppet, but it was a ghost. And they were in this building and yeah, they just ran away from it screaming. It was like a comedy, but it was horribly unfunny. We did it for our Patreon show, but it was called Baby Ghost and it was terrible.
What is Patreon?
Who names a movie Baby Ghost?
That is one of the many questions we had when we watched it as well. All right. What about the kind of wrap up of the movie? What do you think is the if you had to pick, let's put it this way. If you had to pick one part of the movie, which was your favorite part, what would it be and why?
When he looks in the hole where the rats are and he's like, eek.
Oh, the mice, you mean?
They call themselves mouses. So.
Oh, cheeses for us Mises?
Mises.
Yeah.
Mises.
Yeah, you like the little mice family? Jesus for us Mises.
Yeah.
I think probably at the end where he like gives the mice cheese.
Oh yeah, he comes and gives the Cratchits the big turkey and all that stuff, and then he has a little tiny bit of wrapped up cheese for the mouse family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that mice like their turkey is cheese?
Probably. Like, this is a fun topic because I think that for like fancy dinners, the cheese gets more fancy. Like with Christmas, it would be like I don't know.
Smoked Gouda, your favorite.
No, smoked Gouda isn't. Like, it's not that high end, is it?
I mean, yeah, it's some people would say that's kind of a fancy cheese, but it's not like super fancy. Yeah.
It's like in the middle. But
what's the fanciest cheese for a Mies family?
What's that one that was like Hoss that you really liked? It was like I asked you.
Oh, you were talking about Humboldt Fog.
Yeah, is that fancy?
Yeah, yeah, that's my favorite cheese.
What? Yeah. I asked you what your favorite cheese was, and you said that. What does it taste like? Is it funky? Is it what?
It can be. It depends how aged it is, but yeah, it can be.
This is about a movie and not about cheese.
Listen, all of our episodes devolve into conversations about cheese eventually. Okay. Any final thoughts on A Muppet Christmas Carol? You putting up your hand?
Yes. Okay, so we already talked about this part, but one of my other favorite parts is obviously when he says, "You're such an idiot."
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
You know what you were asking me earlier about what does dead as a doornail mean?
That is what I wanted to talk about, and I was just about to say that. Yeah. What does it mean?
So I looked it up because I didn't know the answer to this. First of all, Charles Dickens kind of, that phrase, because you've heard that before outside of this maybe.
Okay, so at school, we are learning about a Renaissance era, and it was saying like Shakespeare's like things that he made, and one of them was dead as a doornail.
Well, I read that it was Dickens that created Dead as a Doornail, but Shakespeare absolutely came up with a lot of those like idioms, those phrases.
What does it mean?
So,
Come up with the phrase idiom?
no, but I
don't know what to call it.
like a phrase, like a comparative phrase, right? So here's what Dead as a Doornail mean. I had to look it up. Back in like, the old times, previous to Victorian times, like back in the medieval times, they used to put big heavy nails. You fell off your stool. Come back up. Big heavy nails indoors, like to reinforce them and make them heavier. And they would hammer a big nail through the door and then bend it on the other side to make sure it stays in place and reinforce the door. And once you bend the nail, you can't use it again. So a doornail, it gets bent, aka like it's not useful anymore. It's dead.
Oh, yeah.
You guys like, oh, doornails. Yes, of course.
I thought it said dead as a doorknob, and I was like, doorknob?
No, dead as a doornail. But I do think I've heard people say that. It's like one of those things where they confuse the actual phrase.
What did you say was the Mandela effect, kind of?
Oh, kind of. Yeah, we talked about the Mandela effect, where like people. Well, that's just like a misphrasing, but yeah, Mandela effects. People remember things in a different way than they actually happened, like a group of people at large. All right, you guys are getting distracted. You're staring each other down. You're pushing each other off the stool. Any final thoughts?
I just fell over.
All right. Any final thoughts on Muppet Christmas Carol? Nobody can see you right now, right? Any final thoughts? Do you have an idea of what you want to do next time?
I want to actually be in an episode with like the gate that I did a little.
Oh, didn't we talk about the gate already?
Yeah.
We could talk about another movie.
Like the gate. I'm saying like I did an episode without Maggie annoying me the whole time, so I could focus.
I didn't get to do an episode on my own.
Okay, well maybe you find a movie and you can be a guest. I think maybe we watch Santa Claus Conquers the Martians like we were watching yesterday.
What is that?
It's not great. I'm just kidding.
Sounds crazy.
Remember we had it on yesterday. You weren't paying attention.
I wasn't either.
I was being an iPad kid.
That's okay. You're being an iPad kid. That's all right. Don't watch it. It's not good. All right. Well, thank you, Squids, for coming on the podcast. And
Call us squids, not
because you are squids. You're a couple of real grade A squids. All right. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, boys and girls.
You want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Joyous Kwanzaa? What do you want to say?
Bye. Adios, sleigh baddies.
Fun morning.
All right. Okay. That was fun. Don't forget, guys. Get out of here. Don't forget, we have to give us some suggestions for our January showdown episode, because I, for one, do not have a list yet.
Can I comment?
Comment on what?
Like on the podcast, like can they talk? How do you know like to give them
Oh, they can go on. Thank you for asking. They can go on our social media at Halloween is Forever on Instagram and Blue Sky and Facebook.
Does anybody comment about us?
Yeah, they always say, I can literally smell their butts through the microphone.
You guys are so good at saying that stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what they say. They say, boy, those girls is good at saying that stuff.
Do they actually listen to us?
Huh?
Like, do they actually listen to our podcast?
Yeah.
Because we don't swear, and they like swearing because they listen to you.
Are they like swearing because I'm good at swearing?
Yeah.
Anyways, that was Maggie and Maeve.
That was Maggie and Maeve. Yes, we're going to do Neo monster flicks for January.
Do what?
Yeah, like new monsters, not like classic monsters like vampires and Draculas and Frankensteins. We got to do new. What'd you say? My.
Your handwriting sucks.
Well, that's to me, right? It's only for me to read, but it does look bad.
Fairies?
Yeah, Neo mangled fairies. All right, let's wrap this up before it goes any more off the rails. For the Halloween is Forever crew, I'm Brian.
I'm Maggie. And that was really cringe podcast voice. My name's Maeve.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.